And we are live Wednesday afternoon, 6 p.m. Narratives, final thoughts, interview reactions. Real quick, let me just tweet out this link and we can get rolling. Are we live? Are we live? We are live. All right, let's rock. So, if you're tuning into, if you see what I commented above this stream, I was like, why Adam Shank's not winning? Another home game for Cam Young. Final thoughts. All right, we got a lot to get into because this was obviously it's a John Deere Classic. We didn't get what 7, 8, 9 interviews from. We got 4 or 5 interviews from. We got Ludwig, JT Poston, Cam Young, and Adam Shank. We also had some stuff from Zach Johnson, but it was nothing too crazy to put into this video. But we will start with our guy Ludwig. I know he's been one of the most controversial rookies of the last 2 years. Everyone seems to have a very polar opposite view on this guy. And I'm not really sure, like, Ludwig doesn't deserve any of this heat or praise. It's kind of like, it's just weird what we're getting with the Ludwig thing. I wanted to just note something, not even really about this week on Ludwig. I know the narrative's kind of worn down a little bit. The ownership's kind of down a little bit. I think it's where it should be as finally, but the price is a bit egregious. They asked him about the Ryder Cup because that's obviously around the corner and building up by the week. And Ludwig kind of shot down all of it and just everything was like, I'm focused on the PGA Tour. I would have never imagined to be in the Ryder Cup talks, but I'm not really worried about it. I wanna focus on each and every start, which was very weird because usually when someone is asked those questions, at least from my experience, they're like, "Yeah, it'd be a dream to be on the Ryder Cup team. It'd be a dream to be on the President's Cup team," meaning a guy who doesn't really get a chance or is new to this scene. Even guys who like Jordan Spieth just said in his interview on No Laying Up with Scotty Scheffler, because he's not like on the team yet, even though he's on the team. He was like, "Yeah, I'm not on the team yet, but I'd be blessed to be on this Rome team. I would love to be a part of it." Like even Jordan Spieth's not like, I'm not focused on the Ryder Cup. I'm focused on the PGA Tour, which I just thought was very weird. And he's probably being true. Like he just wants to focus on his tour starts. He wants to be on the PGA Tour. He talked about how he's been on the PGA Tour his whole life. So the John Deere Classic, Ludwig Aberg, take it as he's ready to play. He's ready to dial in. He's ready to give his all to this PGA Tour start, even though it's the damn John Deere Classic. So take that with a grain of salt. Plus the ownership, I think Ludwig might be a decent pivot because I think guys are going elsewhere. We'll see where it all shapes up tomorrow morning. I don't think that's enough for me to get there because Ludwig's stat line is mashing off the tee, and that's kind of it. Like if this was St. Andrews, he might do well. But I don't know. This isn't a course where I feel like Ludwig can complete. He can definitely take over just off the tee and have a bunch of short wedges like he did at the Rocket. But even then, he faded. He lost a ton of strokes on approach. I don't know what to make of the guy. All I know is that he is excited for this next start and he cares about the John Deere Classic more than this upcoming Ryder Cup. Very interesting. All right. We'll talk about defending champ JT Poston. And I got some weird vibes from JT Poston this week and some comparable quotes to what other guys have said in the past. They kind of asked him about his game recently. It's not as good coming into this week as it was last year. And I know last year it wasn't like Adam Shank's form this year. It's like, wow, this guy checks a lot of boxes and he has the course history. JT Poston didn't have any of that. He just had the runner up at the Travelers. Now JT Poston comes in a bit more under the radar than he did last year. And they asked him the state of his game, and he was like, I feel like I'm close. I'm hitting a lot of good shots, but I feel like they're not getting rewarded. And every single time a golfer has said, I feel like I'm close, they'd never pan out well. Like, truthfully. Justin Thomas says it all the time. Rory's have said it. Jordan has said it. And like that given week, it's never really worked out for them. So just based off that, I feel like JT Poston's not going to say, oh, I feel like shit. Like, I don't think I'm going to do well. I don't think his game is all the way there. And you can't really fake 25 birdies. It's what you're going to have to make this week. So obviously an easier course. Obviously, JT Poston defending champion. Not an egregious price. You could definitely play him, but there's definitely other options around him and above him that I like more. And based off his quotes, he doesn't seem like he's all the way there. I will not play JT Poston defending his title this week. So, yeah, that's basically all I had to say about him. We will move down to Adam Shank. So, I tweeted out above this why Adam Shank isn't winning the golf tournament. Let's talk about it. Why is Adam Shank not winning this golf tournament? He is, I think, the most popular bet this week. And look, yeah, he checks every single box. He's in great form. He's hitting the ball well. He's a great putter. He's got great course history. Yeah, he makes sense, but it's never that easy. And what Adam Shank said today made me realize he is not winning this golf tournament. So they asked him, obviously, these last few starts have been feast or famine. You've either been miscut or top 10. He's like, yeah, working on getting a little bit more consistent, but it's pretty good. My when I'm making the cut, I feel like I'm playing well and doing well. So great. And then they asked him, what is it different about this year compared to last year? And he basically said, well, I'm playing good golf, but it's a lot of luck. I was like no golfer has ever said that before. Like I've never I listened to every single interview and no golfer's like, yeah, it's a lot of luck. So combine Adam Shank's recent success. What he said it, not me. He says luck is involved. Combine that with him being the most popular golfer this week. He's not winning. He's just not. Will he play well? Sure. I think he is in good enough form to finish inside the top 15 of this golf tournament. But a popular Adam Shank is just not. Like, we are not getting a community Adam Shank victory. We're simply not. Think of the last X community wins. Even Ricky wasn't that popular last week, but say Ricky last week. Max Homa at in San Diego. Justin Thomas in Players. Like, we're not getting a community Adam Shank. We're just not getting it. Like, I'm sorry, we're not getting a community Adam Shank win. I'm sorry. If you can cash out of the bet, do it, because he's just not winning this golf tournament. Will he play well? Yes. Okay. We will move on to the final golfer, Cameron Young. And I was like, another home game for Cameron Young. Just hilarious because Cam Young, the home game narratives have this past year have been hilarious. And why I said that was because he was like, yeah, the surfaces and the sight lines and the tree lines remind me of a typical Northeast bent grass course. And I was like, that's just hilarious that Cam Young even said that, because just pencil it in. Cam Young, a home game, Silvis, Illinois. But talking about his golf game, Cam Young says he feels amazing and he's playing really well. He doesn't think those, I guess, poor results were as bad as they really were. He talked about how well he feels hitting the ball and how confident he felt at Travelers hitting the ball, but the results didn't come to fruition. He said he's had some egregious days on the putting surfaces, which have been true and which the stats have shown. And I said this in my, I think, Tuesday show last night. I was like, Cam Young's tee to green numbers are not that bad. Like, they're truthfully not. The putter is just horrendous. But he says he's making strides with the putter, but he feels super, super confident from tee to green. And he also talked about the US Open, how he was with 7 holes to play, he was in 11th, and then he made 3 straight doubles on like very fine line mistakes. So he also talked about leading off that US Open. He was like, if I didn't make those doubles, I even came in with pars, maybe even made a bogey. I finished top 10 in another major, and the narrative around me is very different. And that's very, very true. We saw insane Cam Young flop lag at this time last season at the Open, where he was doing really well, and then he kind of died out at this time exactly last year. Then he finished runner up at the Open Championship. So we're seeing it again from Cam Young. I'm in on Cam Young. I'm not betting him to win because I just don't think his putter's there yet, and at least in a golf tournament like this, to roll in that many putts. He said you're gonna have to hit a lot of shots at 20 feet, but you're gonna have to make a lot of putts this week. And I don't even think he thinks he could do that this week, but the ball striking alone, the talent alone, Cam Young can have a lot of success on this golf course. He's 10,000 for a reason, but the 9%, 8% ownership is what I'm getting at. Play Cam Young this week. He is the pivot. He is going to perform well. Flop lag, just like we saw at the Open. So that's all I got this week. Quick 10 minutes. We had 4 or 5 interviews this week. Nothing too crazy. 2 more weeks until the Open Championship. We should have a lot better interviews, a lot more to dive into at the Scottish and at the Open Championship. So I hope this helped. I hope this got you on or off someone, Adam Shank. But good luck this week. Any questions, you know where to find me. I will see you guys Friday with the halfway leaderboard update.